Hey guys, this is Modified Devil. Welcome back to the channel. I've been playing a lot of First Descendant in my YouTube live stream, so if you guys want to watch it, you can go back to my YouTube channel and watch my live stream. But I finally got my Ultimate Bunny up, a pretty high level, and I wanted to show you guys my build. So let's get right into it. First of all, if you guys are wondering how to farm Ultimate Bunny, it's pretty easy. I did not buy her, I just farmed her. I don't know what button you guys press if you're on a console, but on PC you press J, go to Access Info, go to Descendant, and then go to Ultimate Bunny. You click into her and it will show you all the materials you need. And if you point at the blueprint and press F, it will tell you exactly where to get it. Same thing with the material, it's pretty straightforward. So you click into it and it will show you the area. Same thing with this, you click into it, it will show you what material, amorphous material pattern you need and where to get the amorphous material. Then you bring that amorphous material back to this, for this specific amorphous material you gotta go to Intercept, Battle, Stunning Beauty. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't farm her purposely. I just kind of like while I was farming other stuff, I accidentally farmed like 3 of her parts. So I was like, okay, let's go get the last part and just see if we can make Ultimate Bunny. Anyways, let's go straight into the build, shall we? So we're gonna go into her module first. Now, before we start, is there room for improvement? Yes, of course there is. If I spend even more resources on her, but I stopped here because it's not going to get that much stronger. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. Alright, so let's go into it. So I have 3 different builds, and I'll explain each one of them specifically, so it will make sense. They are very similar, but I would still like to, separate them so I know which one to pick. So the first one is mob build. The mob build, it's more for farming. In the open world, whatever missions you're farming, whatever stuff you're trying to farm in the open world. What I mean by open world are these: Agna Desert, White Night Gulch, Vespers. These are the open world I'm talking about. And the reason why is because this build, as you can tell right now, the only defensive mod I have is Spear and Shield and increase HP. I actually don't really care about defense plus on the Spear and Shield. I just wanted the skill power. Okay? And the reason why is because a lot of the mobs in the open world don't kill you that fast. So all you need is some defense and you should be good to go. So increase HP and Spear and Shield. Shock Punch, I see a lot of other players, they use the multi-maneuvering, long distance, mid-air, dual. It doesn't matter. I barely use the grappling hook too much. Yeah, I use it to escape boss attack and whatnot, but if you want to, go ahead. If you don't care, you don't have to. I've been using Shock Punch since the beginning of the game, and so far it has no difference in my playstyle. I'm just using it to get more slots for my module capacity. Alright, so that's whatever you want to do. Next, the very important one for the mob build is, let me make sure, skill expansion and maximize range. You want to increase your skill effect range by as much as you can, because when you're killing mobs, you want to expand out your E so that, or your V, so that you can kill as many mobs as possible. And as you can see right here, my radius is at 21. Oh, I can't point at it. Is at 21 meter, which is the max you can have without another mod, which I'll go to that mod later. This is the max you have. Yes, maximum range does lower your skill power modifier, but we're against mob, so we don't care. This is plenty of killing power. Okay, you want your radius to be as wide as possible. Skill expansion and maximize range I found is the best one so far to get you to be a max range. Now, I do have a reactor that add skill effect range. So your might be a little bit smaller than mine, but that's okay. Alright. Next, we're going to go into damage. The 2 damage mod that I use is focus on electric and focus on singular. And how you can tell is you just point at the skill. It tells you electric, singular, lightning emission. Okay, so focus on electric and focus on singular. If you guys are wondering why I choose to use these mods, it's because of the skill cooldown minus 6.1%, and it's on both. So that means that I don't have to use, what's the other mod called, Nimble Finger anymore. Minus 25.6%. So it saved me a slot for others module instead of putting another Nimble Fingers on it. They add damage to your skills, and it lowers skill cooldown. So personally, I find that this is the best way to go about it. And if you guys have any other way, please let me know. But so far, I think this is the best so far. Okay, next. This, I'm going to change it eventually. But because this slot was given to me when I make Ultimate Bunny, so I have no choice but to put this in there for now. I don't know if there's any other mod that's like standing out to make me want to swap this slot with a catalyst, but I use skill cost minus 15.2%. You're killing mobs. You want to use your speed of light as often as you can. So having skill cost lower will help you run longer. And then next we are talking about skill extension. Skill duration plus 36.5%. Okay? And why this is important is because the skill cooldown on these 2 mods plus this skill duration would allow you to have permanent lightning emission uptime. The cooldown right now is 26.3 seconds, and the duration is 27.3 seconds. So basically, you can just spam lightning emission. It will never be. You will never have half a second where you don't have lightning emission on you as an ultimate bunny. So this is fantastic. So you need this for sure. Next thing you need is emergency measure and front lines. I could level up front lines a little bit more, but I have a reason why I don't yet. But anyways, emergency measure increases skill critical hit rate and skill critical hit damage, which is really good. You already maxed out on skill power and skill power modifier. The next thing that you can add to the damage is skill critical hit rate and skill critical hit damage. Same thing with frontline. It's just the other opposite. Now it's increasing more skill critical hit damage and less skill critical hit rate. This one is skill critical hit rate and skill critical hit damage. So these mods, it's really good. These two, you basically want these 2 mods in all of your Descendants that does damage. I mean, why not? What would you use the slot for, especially if this is for mobs? Alright, so we'll go straight into the boss now. The only difference on the boss mod is now we have increased defense. We don't have increased defense over here. We got rid of maximize range and put in increased defense. Now you're asking me why. Well, one, this is a boss setup, so the boss in the late game hits really hard. It could one-shot you. A lot of their dots deals a lot of damage. If you don't have the HP and the defense to hold up, you could get one-shot really fast in these intercept battle in hard mode. So we'll put in increased defense instead of maximize range. Well, now you're asking, well, your E is not going to be as wide then, right? No, because we're using high voltage. which is an Ultimate Bunny exclusive module, and it reduces the number of enemies that Throw Bomb and Lightning Emission can strike, and the only one we really care about is Lightning Emission, right? You increase the range and damage instead. Now, when it says reduce the number, it reduces it to you can only hit 3 enemy at a time, and it no longer does an AoE. It does a single target damage almost for that 3 targets. Okay? So you're not hitting in a circle, you're hitting those 3 individually. And it's really good. So now I'll show you. The range is 19.4 meter. Yes, we don't have the maximized range anymore, but now you still have about 20 meter, which is pretty good still. Okay? Max hits times 3 monsters, and you're doing way more damage with high voltage. So when you run around the boss and whatnot, this will help a lot. And there's an added bonus. I did not realize this until recently. High voltage also lower your cooldown. So if I take it off, my cooldown is at 22 seconds. But if I put it back on, my cooldown is at 16.2 seconds. Is that important? Not really. We already have 100% uptime, so it doesn't really matter. But it's an added bonus that they didn't mention in the module themselves. The next thing I change up is time distribution. We use strong mentality here, and boss fight we use time distribution. And here's why I haven't put a catalyst in this slot yet, because I don't know what to put in there that's the best. But what I realize is that because the late game the boss hits so hard, and you're a bunny, you already naturally have lower defense and HP, you want to have as much HP as possible, as much defense as possible. And for this slot specifically, I find that time distribution at 52.4% HP, which it's, in my opinion, will help a lot more than having the skill cost. I don't care much about the skill cooldown right now. I'm more focusing on the max HP. In boss fight, you need it. That's the only reason why I have it. And then the rest is the same so far. I'm maxed out 79 over 80. I could put more catalysts in these two to add more slots. So that's where I'm like debating if I want to put more resources into Ultimate Bunny right now, because she's already really strong. Alright, so that's the only difference for this one. Now I'll go to dungeon. The only difference is, if you guys want to see, is strong mentality, skill cost minus 15%. Because in dungeon, I want to run. I want to turn on my speed of light and just run as fast as possible, as far as possible, kill as many things as possible, trying to speed run the dungeon as much as possible. And I also added maximize range because I want my circle to be as big as possible so that I can kill everything in my path. And the reason you want to use high voltage in dungeon mode is because in the beginning, yeah, it's all mobs, but at the end you have to fight a boss, so you want the damage, and there's not enough mobs to warrant you not to use high voltage. There's just enough mobs where high voltage is right in the middle, where it's like decent, just enough, so it will still kill a lot of things. It might not kill as fast, like as much monster, but in dungeon you barely have any mobs swarming you. In open world, that's when there's more mob. And here's the thing, when you do that, you maximize your range to 27 meters on your lightning emission. That is the max you can get on lightning emission. You cannot go higher than 27 meters. And like I said, my reactor does add some skill effect range, so if you guys don't have 27 meters, don't worry. You can't go any higher. It's just that you don't have the reactor to make it higher. The rest of the mods is exactly the same. I don't see the reason to change it. I'm already able to run through a hard mode dungeon by myself with all the special rules added. So I'm not really worried about changing any modules right now. That's also another reason why I haven't really put another catalyst in there, because I'm already killing everything I want. So there's really no reason. Alright, next we're going straight into the weapons. Enduring Legacy. Best machine guns in the game right now. I if you guys want to see the build real quick, I'll show it, but I'm not going to go into too much details about it. I might make a video later on to show you guys what Enduring Legacy build I have and why. Enduring Legacy, and I use Greg's Reverse Fate. That's one of the best weapon we have since they did the update, so I'm using both. The third slot doesn't matter. Whatever you want. I'm just putting this light speed barrel here because I'm trying to get the proficiency to level 40. But you should be able to kill anything with these two guns. And if you can, then, you know, you gotta farm a little bit more, level up a little bit more. Alright, next we're going to my reactor. Okay, let me put on my Enduring Legacy so you guys can see the correct stats. So, this is my Tingling Singularity Reactor. It's optimized for Enduring Legacy. Okay. It buff skill power boost is electric and singular. And the reason why is because my lightning emission is electric and singular. So of course that's why we're doing that. The stats that it comes with, it doesn't really matter to a degree as long as it's decent. I saw that I got a gold skill critical hit rate, so I kept it. The skill range wasn't really what I was looking for, but I'll keep it just because I got the gold skill critical hit rate. Is there one that's better? Yeah, if you can get skill critical hit damage, but you know, it's all about farming. So if you farm that, you got lucky, good. I got one, but it wasn't. It was blue, so I was like, no, I don't want it. I'd rather get the gold skill critical hit rate. So that's an option. You can keep farming it. And if you guys are wondering how to farm it, I'll show you real quick. Go to your world map. Click F, difficulty level rewards, general rounds, electrics, and singular. Right now they don't have it. Last week they did. Each week is different, so you gotta wait. But basically, general rounds. Enduring Legacy is a general round weapon, so you gotta farm. I don't know how many you farm, but you can farm like 100 of them, and only 5 of them is for Enduring Legacy. Some people like to use Thunder Cage, but I'm trying to kill a boss, so Enduring Legacy will help. Excuse me. Alright, now we'll go to the best in slot for external components. Before I go into the bonus stats, I'm gonna go over the actual set effect first. The Supernova set. Okay. The Supernova set, the 2-set bonus is electric skill power modifier plus 8.6%. So it boosts even more damage to your lightning emission. And then second one is 4-set bonus is fusion skill power modifier plus 12%. We don't care about that. We don't have fusion, so it doesn't matter. But what's important is, why it's so important is that the second part of that 4-set bonus. On an electric skill attack upon an enemy inflicted with electrocution, activate Executioner's Thunderbolt at the target's location, dealing additional electric damage equivalent to 100% of skill power modifier at a 50% chance. Well, so our E will proc electrocution on enemies. So we'll just keep shocking them with that Thunderbolt. That Thunderbolt come from the sky and shock them. It's really good for both mobbing, dungeon, or boss. It does more damage. So I highly recommend. This is the set to go for. I haven't found anything that's better yet. So if you guys are wondering, this is probably the best out there until they come up with something else that, you know, later on. Now let's talk about stats. Okay. With the auxiliary power, the bonus stats, one of them you want, and only on auxiliary power, okay, is max HP. Okay. Each one have a stat that you can get, except sensor. But for auxiliary power is max HP. For memory is defense, and processor is max shield, and hence why on my auxiliary power I have max HP. My memory has defense, and processor max shield. That gives me more survivability. This is for my bossing dungeon set. I have my farming set separately, but for bossing, best in slot for the bonus stats is the double stats. The max HP, defense, and max shield. Now the secondary bonus stats, each external component have a resistance. The first one has fire. I don't hold on. I don't remember what the other one is. The fourth one have toxin. One of them is chill. The other one is probably what's the other element? I don't even remember. But each of them have one, so you can get that. But I didn't get it, so I'll take what I got. So this one have max HP and fire resistance. This one has HP recovery modifier, so when you pick up those HP orb, you heal more. MP recovery in combat. You run around, you're in combat, you generate more MP. That helps. Not the best, but I'll take it. Shield recovery in combat. You have some shield. Not that you don't have any shield. You have 1,000 shield, so that will help too. And then last one is toxin resistance. They all help in some way or another. And as you can tell from our module, we don't have the resistance module, so these resistance will help. So, anyways, guys, this is my build for my Ultimate Bunny. I'm really liking the game and Ultimate Bunny overall. Everything I have done so far, I farmed. If you guys have any question about what I farm, how I farm certain things, please comment below. But the only thing I spend money on, if you guys are wondering, is to spend $5 in the game to get an extra 5 slots on the Descendants. Because about 50 caliber per slot, so this is the only thing I spend money on, because that's the only way to get more Descendants. Once I reach 15, I'm gonna have to spend more money to get more slots, so that's the unfortunate part about it. But this is it. This is my Ultimate Bunny build. If you guys want me, I'm gonna okay, before we go, I'm gonna talk about my other two ability that I'll never use. This one, maximum power, useless. You barely do any damage. Don't bother with it. Your Q or your, I don't remember what the letter is. I'm so used to playing Lee Q W E. Okay, your throw bomb, useless. You can use it when you get close to a boss. Throw it out whenever you can, but most of the time you don't really need to. So, and this is your passive. You double jump, you get some electricity, you do some damage to electricity. Again, not that useful. But all you're focusing on is lightning emission, even against bosses. So you don't want to use all your electricity to kill the boss, and then now you don't have enough electricity to activate lightning emission. So you want to save your electricity for lightning emission. But anyways, guys, that's my build for Ultimate Bunny. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or any suggestion on how I can make her even better, please let me know. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.